Hi, I'm Phyllis from southernfrugal.com. Well, this morning we're in the downstairs bathroom, and here's the problem. We've got a leak in the shower, and I've worked on it twice now, and I'm getting ready to work on it the third time. And here's the reason I'm working on it. It's been 6 weeks since we called a plumber. The first plumber, which was our regular old plumber that we've had for 30 years, his mother became critically ill and she was in the hospital, and so he's staying with her. So he recommended another plumber. So we called him, and he called back and said he was at the doctor at the moment, talking on his cell phone, and that just as soon as he finished at the doctor, he would come right by here. He never came. Okay, so we found a third plumber. And so Mr. Bucky called him, and he said, well, his wife had just had a baby, but that he was anxious to help us and to, get our business. And so after 3 days, he called back and said that he would come, or he would call us again the following Thursday. Okay, so today is Thursday morning. It's about 10 o'clock. We haven't heard from him, and I've already been working on the shower and fixed part of it, so now I'm going to fix the rest of it. Okay, so let me show you what the problem is. First of all, let me cut on the bigger light. This shower was installed in the 1960s. It's a fiberglass shower, and of course it's never leaked down at the drain or anything like that. And it only started leaking about, about 3 months ago, and it was leaking up here. This is a little shower one we got. And it was just one drip maybe every, 30 seconds or so, but it would drop down here and it would splash and get all over the shower. So what we did was took this off and just placed it down here so it would drip directly in the drain. And so we figured that was good enough for a while. All right, so then I worked on it and took all this apart and replaced 2 of the washers that were inside for both the hot and the cold, and replaced that. And then we have a little tiny leak that comes from right under here down. See, there, 1 drop, every couple of minutes maybe, or less than that, but still, see, can you see right there? Yeah, and down there. So anyway, we're going to fix this to the best of our ability, and then we won't need a plumber, will we? That's right. So once I start, I've got to cut the water off out front, and once I do that, we'll be back and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, so if you think I've got a little bit of an attitude towards plumbers, you're right, okay? And this is the very reason that I learned to do all the stuff I've learned to do, because we had rental property and getting subcontractors to come when they said they would come and that kind of thing. That's when I learned to do electrical, I learned to do plumbing. I've never worked on a shower like this because it's so old, but I think I can fix it. So we'll be back, maybe in an hour or so. We've got to have devotions. We've already had our smoothie for this morning. We'll be back. I'm a determined lady this morning. We'll be back. All right, I have got my hair up and I'm ready to go to work, but I wanted to come in here to the kitchen and show y'all what I did yesterday afternoon. It took me probably a good hour to install the kitchen faucet. So here it is. It's a Moen. Turn this around. There you go. Wait, let me turn the light on. Oh, that doesn't make it any clearer, does it? Anyway, yeah, there you can see it. It's a Moen, And before, we have had a Moen before, and we've also had a Delta. They're both now very, very easy to install. And I like this one. The sprayer works really well, better than the other one. Now, we had a really cheap faucet on here before because I had replaced the faucet several different times, and after a couple of years you just have to replace them. So anyway, this works really, really well. The handle is real easy to use, and it's not the most expensive mowing. Let me just show you the little sprayer works great too. See, you've got a good stream on the sprayer, which I like well. Alright, so now you have on the kitchen faucets now, they have what they call a quick connect for connecting the sprayer, which makes it really, really easy. So let's go into the sink and I'll show you. Well, I've got stuff already put back under there. So let's see where that quick, there, right there, that's the quick connect. All you have to do is push that little pipe, that little connection in, and that's all you do. You push it in until it clicks and then tug on it a little bit, make sure it's connected. And of course these down here, you just simply connect them to the water supply, and make sure you use some of that plumber's tape, which is the white stuff. Let me show you. That plumber's tape is right there. You see that little white ring? And I wrap that clockwise around there just a couple of times. You don't want to use a whole bunch. And that's it. Also, when I was redoing the kitchen, I installed this garbage disposal, and you see we have no leaks anywhere because I did it myself. Alright, so there's what I did yesterday, and I am really liking this. This is some kind of brush, some kind of something, I don't know. But Mr. Bucky said he thought it looked a little more like brass, but I think it goes with the sink pretty well. Anyway, there it is. Alright, we're going to go work on the shower. We'll be back. Alright, we are back. We got through with our devotions, and I prayed about this thing. And just a few minutes ago, the plumber called again and said he would be by on Monday. So hopefully by Monday, everything will already be fixed. Okay? Alright, so we're ready to get started. Now, the first thing we're going to do now, bear in mind I've already done this twice, okay? Because it was leaking from the shower head, and I put two washers, or not washers, they're, I forget what you call them, those little black things, and they're held in with a spring at the back of the shower, and I've already fixed that so it doesn't leak up top anymore. And so we're going to leave this plate right here on. There's no reason to take it off. I might adjust it a little bit because it's out a little bit here. But anyway, the first thing we're going to do is take the handle off. Now, I've already cut the water off. And really, cutting the water off is one of the most important things, because there's no cutoff for most showers. So you have to cut your main water supply off first. Alright, so I'm going to use this little hexagon kind of thing. That's what it's called, I think. It's got all these different sizes. And let's see if you can see how it's shaped. Let me turn it that way. There. Alright, can y'all see that? Anyway, there's a little screw right under this little plastic handle, and you have to unscrew that for this handle to come off. Alright, so we're going to do that now. Let me see if I can find it. It's right under this little plastic thing. And I'm just going to unscrew that and take that handle off. Okay, it doesn't want to unscrew. Let me put that in a little bit better. I don't know, have I got the right size? I don't know. Let me try this size. No, it is this size. It's right there. Alright. I'm not sure why that's not coming undone. Oh. That's got it. No. All right, y'all, I'm gonna have to cut this off and be able to get the flashlight, be able to see this. We'll be right back. Okay, we finally got the handle turned the right way and was able to get that off. Show you what it looks like. Remember, this thing is 55 years old. Yeah, probably could clean out in there, but I'm not going to. I mean, let well enough alone, right? So the little area where you put the hexagon thing in is right there, and I was obviously turning it the wrong way. That's why it wouldn't come off. But anyway, we got it now. All right, the next thing to take off is this little thing. Now, y'all, I don't know the names of anything, okay? So I'm just going to say this little thing. It's that little thing that holds everything together. So we're going to turn that. Should be able to do it by hand. And we're going to take everything off. And look here, we're going to lay it right down there in the order that it goes in, because we don't want to get anything out of order here. All right, so here we go. All right, so there's the first part of it, which is just this little thing that holds everything together. All right, the next part is this. I'm going to take that off. The next part is this little thing, and it's got a little edge right here. And you have to kind of put a screwdriver in there to get that out, because it fits in there pretty good. So we're just going to pull it out a little bit. Pull it out a little bit there. And actually, I think I can just take a hold of it real tight and pull it right out. Let's see. Let me get some kind of rag. Okay. Here's a rag. If I can't get it like this way, I'll get a pair of pliers to do it. But this is going to come right straight out. Okay, gotta go get a pair of pliers. Hold on. All right, we're back, and I moved y'all a little bit closer. Got my pliers, and I'm just going to use a rag here and take a hold of this and just pull it straight out. There. All right, so there's this little, there, I'm trying to get it in the camera. That little thing goes on that next piece, but it came out when I took this out. Whoops. Sorry, don't want to knock my camera over. All right, so then here's this little piece. I'm going to take it out. Right there. And this little washer or O-ring goes back in there. And these go together like that. I have trouble finding y'all in the camera. There, see? And then this is just a little ball thing that turns the water hot or cold or off or on. Okay, so I'm going to lay these in order. And then, right in there, I'll move the camera so y'all can see. This is the thing that is most likely wrong when you have a drip in your shower, most of the time. And it was certainly the case with us. Can y'all see inside there? Let me get the flashlight. That works better than the light on my camera. There, see those two little things? All right, those are two washers, or what do they call those? I can't remember. I should know what they're called. But anyway, right behind those, there's a spring. And that spring keeps them tied up against that little thing that stops the water from coming through. So now I know that the water is not coming from either one of those. So take that little thing off. That's just a covering there. So I'm going to take that off. Right there. See, it's just a thing that covers it. So I know that the only place it really is leaking is it's coming in between this thing and this this part right here. So let me cut the camera off and take a look at this again. All right, be right back. Okay, so we've got the parts apart, and what I have done is double checked right in behind here, and I used a Q-tip to see if anything was wet back there. Now, this is all one piece, so it'd be kind of hard for that to leak since this section is all one piece. So I put my Q-tip back there, and it did get dirty, but it's not really wet back there. So we can assume that the leak is coming from these washers probably. That's my guess. So this one goes in first, then this one, then this one, then this, and we have to put this back on before we get started. But you see how that's wet, like on the bottom part where it ran back in there, I suspect from right there. So anyway, I'm going to put some silicone grease, and it's not plumber's putty, it's silicone grease. It's completely different than plumber's putty. See, it's clear. I'm going to use a Q-tip, and I'm going to take that little O-ring out and cover it all around with the silicone. I'm going to do the same for this one right here. And I'll probably also put some on this little ball thing here, because I noticed before when I took it apart someone else had done that. Bear in mind, this has been working for 55 years, so we're going to see if it can keep working. Alright, we'll be back when I get this back together. Alright, we're ready to put this back together. I just want to tell you what I did. I put a piece of the Teflon tape, that's that plumber's tape, and made it real small and put it up under this, and I put some of the silicone grease in there. And on this one I actually put a piece of that Teflon tape under that to kind of beef up this little O-ring. You can see some of it right there. And I've also put some more of the grease on it. So we're getting ready to put this all back together. I'm going to put y'all back on the tripod. Hold on. Alright, we're ready to put this back together. What I have done is I have put, let me get in the camera, a little piece of the Teflon under this little O-ring, and just to kind of beef it up a little bit, and I've put the silicone grease or plumber's grease all around on this little O-ring. Now it goes in, like this side's going to go in where those washers are. So I'm going to put that in first. Now some of the water is running out of it now because we've got 2 bathrooms upstairs and that water will drain out. It's not because the water's on, it's just water draining out of the pipe. So we'll put that in. And then on this piece I have put some of the Teflon, I'm trying to find the camera there, right around the edge. This is going to be the edge that goes right around there. And I've put the silicone grease all around on this little O-ring too. And I've also put a piece of silicone tape between it and this little plastic thing. I think this is actually a nylon type thing. Okay, so we're ready to go back in now. Now this little thing can only go one way. See, it's got the little notched out place, so it can only go one way. Alright, so we're going to put that in now. Get my silicone back, Teflon tape back in there. We've got a little notch right over here, and I'm going to just line that up. Hopefully get it lined up right. Then all you have to do is push it in. You wouldn't have to push it in all at the same time, which is kind of difficult to do. I can already tell that washer is thicker than it was. All right, I'm gonna have to try again. All right, I'm gonna have to cut the camera off because I'm gonna have to rearrange all. Hold on, I can't cut it off even. I got grease on my hands. Hold on. Okay, I got this in, and I also went ahead and wrapped some of the silicone, or no, it's not silicone, it's what? That plumber's tape. It's called Teflon. That's what it's called, Teflon tape. Anyway, so we're ready for this next piece to go on. Y'all, I'm sorry about my camera work, but I'm having trouble finding my hands and the part in here. All right, so this just goes on. There's a little notch there, so it can only go one way. And there it is. Make sure my little handle moves. Hot and cold, hot over here, cold, and then off, and this is on. All right, so now we got that in. All right. So now we're ready to put this back on, and it's going to go around here. Now, I don't think that the leak was coming from in here. I think the leak was coming from around the outside, not outside, but this little edge right here. And I sort of reinforced those little O-rings, I guess you call them. And so anyway, we're ready to put this back on. We're just going to hand screw this. We don't want to tighten it with anything. It's going on very easily. Hands are really greasy. Make sure everything still moves. And again, you just want to hand tighten that. Make sure that still moves. And this little piece will move because that's just to cover the pipe there. But anyway, I think we've got it, y'all. Now all we have to do is put this little top back on. And again, it's got the little, let me find myself there. Use a little hexagon type thing to go in there. It fits right in there. This should go on very easily. There we have it. And then we just tighten it up under here. I had trouble getting this off a while ago because I was turning it the wrong way. So let's see if I can turn it the right way this time. Okay, no, that's the wrong way. Turn it back the other way. No, that was the wrong way too. Okay, one more time. I know this video is going to be long, I guess. Let's see if this is the right way. Yes, that was the right way. Go back in there again and tighten it a little bit more. All right, so there it is. I think I should tighten it a little more. Don't y'all think so? I do. I need to tighten it a little bit more. I can get the thing back in there. I mean, it's on there, but still. Don't want to over tighten it. There. There. All right. Just turn, that's on there. That's off. You turn it to hot, that's cold. Of course, you want it right in the middle. Now, let's see if I've got this thing, just only, you need to hand tighten it. And that's hand tightened. Okay, y'all, I think we don't have a leak now, but we're gonna go cut the water on, and we'll be right back. All right, y'all, I think we got a leak-free shower. It's on. I can find it in the camera. There it is. And here's where it was leaking right there. It was actually coming out from this section. And so now it's not leaking. Alright, but what does leak when the shower's on is this little shower handle thing. But that has nothing to do with this lower connection. See right here? So what I'm going to do, it's coming out from this little thing right here because there's a washer thing in there. And what I'm going to do is put some silicone caulk in there, and I'm going to wrap some tape around too. It's not leaking up here, or is it? I don't know, it might be. I might use new tape up here. Anyway, we'll be back. Alright, I'm not going to do that next little shower connection thing on it. This video is already really long, I think. But anyway, the same procedure as I did for the inside, and I'm just, thank the Lord, we have no leaks. But while I'm in here, I just wanted to show you this bathroom. I don't know if I've shown this on a video before or not, but one Saturday afternoon, I think Mr. Bucky was watching a ball game. I went wild with my paints and did all this. Yeah. And so now I got to paint over it because I don't think someone else is probably not going to appreciate all my magnolia blooms on the wall. And I might leave those up there because that doesn't look bad up over the light. Let me cut that light up so you can see better. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. Let me back up. Yeah, that doesn't look bad up there really. So I might leave those, but the rest of it, include the ceiling, is going to be white. And I'm going to put that granite stuff down on the counter. Alright y'all, I am going to go this time. And I'm going to have to look at this tape, y'all, because I know it's really long. So again, all we're going to do up here is going to take this off because there's a washer right under there. And I'm going to use some of the silicone grease and probably some of the Teflon tape too. And then up here, I'm going to use some of the Teflon tape because it's leaking a little bit right there and a little bit out of here. But none of this had to do with the main leak of the shower, which was right here. And before, it was dripping from the nozzle up here, which meant the whole problem was down here. But as you can see, we have no problem down here now, and I'm very, very happy. So we'll let the plumber, when he comes on Monday, if he comes, have a look at it and give his okay. All right, we will see y'all next time. Bye for now.